Young people do not respect their own parents because they've been raised that way. Iblis, the Dajjal, has managed to get to them because they don't pay attention to themselves. We human beings, we know we have soul, but we don't consult our soul. We know our soul returns to its maker. We know that our soul returns to Allah Jalla Jalaluhu every single night. Every single night, our souls go back to Allah. And He restores them in the morning when we wake up. How is it that we know we do not have any control over our own selves? And instead of us taking that in which will guide us to understand who we are, why we're here, why we were created, simple reasons as that. Instead, we think we know there are others who can make my life better. I can have a comfortable life if I don't have to worry about following the discipline of peace. This society has failed again. Marriages in the United States are becoming more and more scarce. People do not want to get married anymore. People do not want to have families anymore. They want to be independent. They don't want any strings attached. They want friends with benefits, and that's it. This is what the society has come to. And of course, changing male versus female. Imagine this being something in which was all that existed in our society. What would we do? How would this humanity even continue? It would be a self-destructive motion and mode. But this is what we're following. Majority of people who claim to be Muslim have broken their oath to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by not complying with the essence of words and action, by not complying with the essence of faith. There is no way we can think that we are free of sin if we turn a blind eye onto that in which is falsehood, because we are supposed to be testifying to the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. At an educational level, at a social level, you look at the financial level, okay, the capital of the world. And what's going on there? What's going on there is they're in debt. You know, people are in so much debt. People at the government level, the government itself is in so much debt. After they have taxed and taxed and taxed and taxed the people, they really are in debt. And how is it that it continues and persists? Is because we are turning a blind eye on it, instead of at least applying sadaqah and zakah formations, instead of at least dealing with the masculinity with the military mindset of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam at least. No, we continue to be divided and separated. Divided and separated so that and conquered, psychologically conquered, mentally conquered, socially conquered. We develop the mindset of a non-Muslim so well that we're surrounded by traps of Iblis in each and every direction. Things that come out of our mouths are mostly the words that identify with not Iyaka na'budu wa Iyaka nasta'in, especially when we try to get people to come to our parties, when we have to get admired, when we have to get recognition. We deserve so much recognition from people. If there's an arrogant person that you know, approach them and just say nice things and praises and glorify them. You'll see how it turns out. You'll see how happy they become. This is shaitan, and I'm letting you know. I am letting and reminding myself that the anger, the arrogance, pride, boastfulness, greed, selfishness, miserliness, this is all shaitanic. These are all traps and tricks of the shaitan. These are personalities that he used throughout his covenant with Allah. When he's making covenant with Allah, when he said to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you created him from clay and you created me. See, you created me from fire. Ana khayrun minhu. I am better than him. That's not pride. That's not arrogance. You think when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala remained really silent about Adam's reaction, or he did not even give, he did not have Adam speak. Adam is there in the whole story, not saying anything, obediently, patiently. Adam alayhi salatu wassalam is there with humility, with sincerity. He is pure. He has no sin. He has never gone against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Shouldn't we look forward to doing that? Shouldn't our mindset be about pleasing, serving Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Shouldn't our hearts be filled with joy because of the fact that we've complied with our oath of allegiance to Allah, which is the Shahada? Shouldn't it? But look at the Americanism and how well it's done, and how many wars has it started? How many wars has America started and its allies? It's intolerable that these people cannot stay out of war. Instead of peace, they want war. And for the life of, I don't like to use the verbiage, but for the Quran, for what it is that I believe, it's really difficult to understand that you had 30 countries, NATO member countries. They have an ally. They know that this ally is on the verge of being invaded. They get intelligence, and all of them remain unengaged until this country is just invaded. Like, what are we missing? Oh, Russia has nuclear arms, right? Doesn't America? Doesn't France? Doesn't Britain? And a couple of the other big boys on that 30 list of NATO, coalition countries. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, and He's very, very, very simply put, that all of their might and all of their resources, all of their efforts, being that they're not used for the reward of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is in waste. It takes them so long to decide that they're not going to forgive the student loan. It takes so much effort to even get it considered, because it's not for Allah. Everybody wants a certain political recognition here and there. And look at your candidates today. Look at the candidates that we've had in the past. But most importantly, you have somebody who's been charged with so many different crimes, but he's a candidate, right? It doesn't make any sense. And then you have somebody you can easily tell, like this person, this individual, I mean, they really need 24 hours a day care for their own selves. And you all are trying to, and then you don't respect. There's no respect for elders anyway. This is where America has gotten itself to. The entire world, everybody knows of the American imperialism around the world. And we testifying and witnessing to the whole truth have every reason, every responsibility to say this is shaitan. This is the same shaitan that say you do not need peace, you do not need Islam. You have people believing that Islam is just some religion that is confined to a region. You lie to them that well. You lie to them about the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. You lie to them about Islam, about peace that is from Allah. You lie to them about what a Muslim means, one who submits themselves willingly to their creator and maker. You lie to them about that. But that's not shaitan. When the word of Allah is mentioned to you, you turn your back on it and you mock it. That's not shaitan. If that's not shaitan, then explain what else does shaitan do besides turning people from Allah, keeping people away from one another for the reward of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Not giving for the reward of Allah, not taking for the reward of Allah, not loving for the reward of Allah, not hating for the reward of Allah. What else does shaitan do? What, he sits in his palace and just says, let me go see if anybody's drinking or if anybody's taking drugs. So we have to be careful, my beloved siblings in Islam. The time is now. The gig is up. Serious, because everybody around the world knows the exploitational game and gig that has been going on. And the silent majority has spoken. That's how we know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has definitely decreed that what is to happen, what is to take place is now. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.